Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Kreese never existed during the events of the Karate Kid? So in this timeline, Kreese would never be born, so Kreese would never meet Betsy in this timeline, so Betsy would continue being in an abusive relationship with David, and those events would carry on. Kreese would never go to Vietnam in this timeline, so Terry Silver would never meet Kreese, and in Vietnam, Terry Silver and Ponytail would still be trained by Captain Turner, and those events would carry on, and they would still be on their mission, but in this timeline, they wouldn't be captured, but Ponytail would still die. Terry Silver would continue getting training from Captain Turner, and they would still go on a couple missions, but on one of those missions, Terry Silver would die because Kreese wouldn't be there to save him, but Captain Turner would survive in this timeline. So in this timeline, Cobra Kai would never be formed, and those events would continue, and by 1979, Johnny would still have no friends, and he would continue to be an outcast, and Johnny would never get his confidence, so Johnny and Ali wouldn't date in this timeline, and without Johnny competing in the All Valley, Vidal would still be the All Valley champion. And by 1984, Daniel would still move to the valley, and he would still be invited to the beach party, so Daniel would still talk to Ali in this timeline, and those events would stay the same. Daniel and Ali would still date, and Daniel would continue attending school. Johnny would still watch from afar, but Daniel and Johnny would never interact. Daniel and Mr. Miyagi wouldn't be close in this timeline, and the events of Karate Kid 2 would still happen. Mr. Miyagi would still go to Okinawa to see his father, and Sato would still want to fight him, but Mr. Miyagi would still refuse. The storm would still happen in this timeline, and Mr. Miyagi would still save Sato. So Sato would apologize to Mr. Miyagi, and Mr. Miyagi and Sato would become friends again. The events of Karate Kid 3 wouldn't happen in this timeline, and since Daniel never opened up Mr. Miyagi's little trees, Daniel will never meet Jessica, so Jessica would never introduce Daniel to Amanda, so Amanda and Daniel would never meet, so Sam and Anthony would never be born. The events of the next Karate Kid would still happen. Mr. Miyagi would still train Julie, and those events would stay the same. And by the time the events of Cobra Kai would happen, Miguel would still move to the valley, and he would still be picked on by Kyler and his friends. But Johnny would never be there to defend Miguel in this timeline. So Kyler and his friends would continue picking on Miguel, Eli, and Dimitri throughout the year. But overall, things would be a lot more peaceful in this timeline. And that is where I'm gonna end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Kreese never existed during the events of the Karate Kid? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.